Hi there, today I thought we would talk about the book Steeple Volume 2 from John Allison. Go back and have a look at that review. Steeple follows the story of Billy and Maggie, two young women in a village in Cornwall. One is in the church, one is in the Satanic Church. They end up swapping places through events in the story, which I won't spoil. Either go watch my review or read the book. And it's just a real good British comedy. It's a kind of book that I feel should be made into a TV series. It's an incredibly dry but funny comic read, and it's just a level of quality that you wouldn't necessarily expect to find, and it's just a level of quality that's really high, and it makes it really worthwhile. It's published by Dark Horse. Let's have a look at the book, and then we'll have a look at pricing, etc. in a wrap up at the end. So Steeple Volume 2 from John Allison is subtitled The Silvery Moon. It continues the fantastic, fun story from Volume 1. At the end of Volume 1, you had the main characters, Maggie and Billy, had essentially swapped places. So one was living with the church reverend, and the other was in the Satanic Church. Now, they give you a little update on the first page just to let you know where you are, so none of that's really spoilers. And if you want to know more about the first book, have a look at my review on this channel. Okay, but they're still friends, and the priest at the Satanic Church is not getting on well with Billy. He's Magus Tom Pendennis. He relieves his stress by going into the supermarket and squishing boxes of eggs, which he sees as being thoroughly evil. Meanwhile, you've got the Reverend trying to do things to occupy his mind and keep the evil forces in the village at bay. The trouble is, Billy's a good person and she can't help doing good things, but everyone likes her for it, which winds up Magus Tom even more. This first story focuses a lot on one of the main characters who has some trouble with the full moon coming up. It turns out he's a werewolf and he only got partially cured of it in the previous volume. You have Maggie and Billy going out to try and help him out and make sure he doesn't cause any trouble. At the same time, you've got Maggie, doing what Maggie does. She's a free-spirited girl. She likes to meet guys and bring them home, but obviously when she's bringing them home to the rectory, the old lady who's in charge of the rectory has problems with that. And they also have a church inspection which they have to pass because Maggie has drawn their attention to it. Now, this all sounds very much a dull story, but the humour throughout this story is great, and the character work is great as well. The characters don't lose out because of the humour. And as I said in my previous review, this is a kind of thing where it should be a series on the BBC, because they wouldn't overdo it, they would have the right actors, and it would have the right attitude and sense of humour. If it went to American production companies, they would ruin it, and they try and stretch it out for too many episodes. This is a nice 8-part series that can just be shown and enjoyed. There's lots of little things in the background that you can spot and read, which I won't highlight to you, but you've just got to look for them, pick up the jokes, and it's very self-aware and not necessarily self-referential, but it's as if you're watching a film or series where they're playing it straight, even though there's silly things going on, and that just adds to the humour. They never sort of wink at the camera or wink at the reader, as it were, and it just makes it even more fun. I mean, things like this, they try, because he's a middle-aged man who's turned into a werewolf, they try and distract him by showing him a Grand Tour episode. I mean, because that's what middle-aged men hunger for, is more Clarkson. It's just funny, it's just silly. So that's how they solve that particular problem. And obviously they deal with the church visit as well. The second story in it is about an alien visiting the area. Or is he an alien? Could he be a Super Sentai instead? You have to watch the story to find out. You also have the Satanic Church putting on a pantomime, which they hope to influence the local people through. How and why that is, you'll have to read the story to find out. But again, it's just really funny, and you're just chuckling all the way through it. I'm going to leave it there because I'll end up spoiling it more than I already have. But what I would say is, if you want a slice of British humour, you want something that's funny, irreverent, and ultimately just different and of a real quality, then give this a look. There's another series that I keep meaning to review from the same writer, called By Night, which I've got the books sitting just to the side of me to go over after having read them, but I just never get round to it. But this is definitely one you should pick up both volumes. I've got the first one in actual trade, as in physical format, and this one in digital. I'm not going to buy this one in physical, only because I'm hoping they do more and then produce a nice deluxe edition, as they did with the Giant Days books. So that's the book. I'm really pleased with it. I got it digitally, as I said, so that I can wait for a collected edition to come out. I hope there's another volume. I like supporting this title. I like John Allison's work, and I recommend you go buy it. I'll throw up the prices for it digitally and in print on screen. It's around the £10 mark if you want it in print, and digitally a bit cheaper. Totally recommend buying this series, along with Wicked Things and Giant Days as well. Let me know what you think if you're a fan of this series. Please feel free to like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.